Once again, can you just introduce yourself for the world?
Hi, my name is Cameron Trimble, CEO and founder of Hip Politics and co-founder of the Hip Hop Action Fund.
All right, and thank you so much for taking the time to moderate this panel for us. First of all, just talking about that panel, what did you like going on over there?
I love that we kicked off the day with the Hip Hop and Politics panel. I love to see be it both the fun stuff, but also one of the more important conversations to kick it off and really set the tone for the day. I think it was really deep, really insightful to be able to have somebody from multiple generations. Professor Griff, who's a legend with Public Enemy and all that they've represented in terms of being one of those groups that kicked off really like political activism from facing in hip hop, and then also have so much success all the way to Don Rashad, who's had such accolades throughout her career, but now deeply entrenched with her work with the Hip Hop Caucus, and of course Howard alumni and president and CEO of Hip Hop Caucus, Reverend Yearwood.
Absolutely. And so when you have those different perspectives, those different generations on the stage, what are some of the takeaways that you're going to take from this conference?
There was a few really big. Excuse me. There were a few really great quotables and really some lessons that I know I'm going to take away. Reverend Yearwood in saying that it is on an artist to not only see the future, but it is on the artist to make revolution irresistible. I thought that was a really great nugget in terms of giving us a path and a blueprint forward of what hip hop and what artists can do to really make civic engagement, political engagement, the revolution really sexy, make it cool, make it what people want to pay attention to. And then I think also the big information and education, it was a theme throughout in terms of not only the information and education that people need, but that we need to also give that information in a safe space to educate artists so then they can put that into the music and that can be reflected back onto the people.
Absolutely. Thinking about that, we're looking at the road to 2024. A couple statistics for you. In 2022, black voter turnout went down compared to 2018. Politicking is all about mobilizing people, getting more black people to the polls. How can hip-hop be part of that solution to get more people voting?
I think that it starts not just getting the GOTV getting out the vote, but it really starts, it starts with the education on why we're voting. Giving people a reason. You hear hip-hop, you hear black people always say like, hey, I've had a Republican president, I have a Democratic president, and my community is still the same. A lot of times they feel like they're in the same place. So you have to educate on why it's important to vote. Give people an understanding and a reason. Then, as you've seen so many different legislatures, mostly leaning on the right side, but so many different legislatures have really tried to disenfranchise and take the right to vote away or make it that much harder and kicking people off the rolls and so forth. So we've got to educate on how to vote.
Right.
There's a massive education gap in terms of early voting, voter registration, mail-in votes, mail-in ballots, all the different state by state and even region by region. We've got to really do a concerted effort to re-educate people on how to vote, and then we get out to they need to get out to go vote. So I really think how hip hop, through its education, through the music, but also just through their presence, through their voices, through their platforms. They've got millions of followers, so much money, so many different organizations, companies, and then, like I said, the music behind them, to be able to show up, to give people the why and the how before they get to the what, which is voting.
And then last question for you, thinking about our next conference, what would you like to see improve? What would you like to see change for next conference?
I would say Professor Griff said it best in the sense that he asked a question out to the audience saying, who's popular right now, who's politically conscious, who's socially conscious? You threw out a Kendrick, you threw out a Rhapsody, you threw out a J. Cole. I think those things in making sure we continue to engage those artists, continue to engage not only the folks we had here, but widen that circle. It's not just a young people thing. It's not middle-aged or older people thing. I think continue. Hip-hop is 50 this year. Right. That means somebody 1 year old all the way to probably somebody 65, 70. identifies with the culture and has a common thread. So that's pretty much every generation in America is represented within hip hop. So we have a vast variety of organizations, artists, people, both in front of the mic and behind the mic, that we can continue to expand and bring into these spaces.
Definitely. At this point, we all grew up on hip hop, right?
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Have a good one.